guys,
welcome to today.
That's what you make it.
Today's video is going to be a reacting or responding to assumptions about us or our relationship.
So, everyone's doing it, so we
Yeah.
thought we would as well. We jump on the bandwagon and make a video ourselves.
I did one on Instagram, like just on stories, and
That was
everybody really liked it.
A while ago now, wasn't it?
So I thought we'd make it into a video. So if you're not following us on Instagram, you definitely should be doing that. Follow these handles here because that's where we ask these kinds of questions.
And only those who follow Ayla were able to provide questions for this assumption.
This is true.
This is very true.
So let's just get right into it. Thank you guys for submitting your assumptions, and I just want to say too, thank you for being so nice. Like whenever you open this up, you can be worried about like what's gonna come your way.
We're just like waiting to see if there's gonna be anything really juicy.
Yeah, so
Nothing.
Pretty like nice, and you guys are pretty great. So
Yeah.
but we do have a couple that are a little
Edgy?
edgy. Definitely the most common assumption. I think I saw it like 40-50 times probably. I mean,
Seriously?
it was the most common for sure.
So I'll kick things off with the
And
most
it's-
popular.
That you guys never fight, always being so sweet and kind to each other. You guys never fight, you never argue, hardly ever fight. So
We must just really come off on camera that we're just so loving and we just treat each other so well.
Well,
And
you
for the
also-
most part we do.
you also just don't really pick up the camera if you're like not in the best mood.
This is true.
And that doesn't mean we're trying to hide any part of our relationship or anything.
It's just that if you're not in a really good mood and you're grumpy and you're not
Yeah.
exciting,
You're not,
or
like,
I don't know, the video's
ready.
probably pretty dry at that point, so that's why the camera
awkward.
doesn't get turned on. But to answer the
But
question, the
answer
assumption,
is, we don't really fight that much.
no,
I can't, like we were just saying, I don't remember, like it's been
The
a
last fight.
couple years since like
like a big fight.
a big fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the kind where you're like really mad and like
Yeah.
you need to like get out of my face or I'm gonna punch
I think I
you
can count
kind of
on one
thing.
hand how many nights I've slept on the couch.
And some of those are just because I just didn't want to forgive you yet,
Yeah.
even though we were like really close. I was just like, no, I'm gonna stand my ground, and too bad, because I can be like that. But no, I think what we definitely do like have arguments and like
Of course.
spats.
Disagreements.
Yeah, and like
A
things.
difference of opinion.
But mostly they're never about big or important things.
No.
I'd say they're only just like when you're annoying me or if I'm in like in a grumpy mood.
When I'm annoying her.
Yes. I won't call you out on the things you do that annoy me, but
Take some responsibility. Ayla.
I'm saying, or when I'm in a grumpy,
Yeah, I
like,
know. Yeah.
non-forgiving mood. But they usually don't last very long. It's just like a and then
And
That's
even if she's, say, upset with me, I'm very good at getting her upset.
yeah. We always, if there is like an actual argument, we always work it out as soon as possible.
Even if one of us wants to just like go off on their own, that might happen for like 2 minutes, and then the other one just comes and is like, okay, let's talk about
let's be
this.
real. That's always me
Okay, I was
going
just being nice.
upstairs to the room and closing the door, and then he'll come in like 2 minutes later. He's like, Ayla. And
Ayla, I'm not leaving. I have
which
to
is
talk to you.
good, because if
Yeah.
you didn't do that, I'd probably be more upset.
I always want to address it and deal with it and
Yeah.
come to like a good agreement and just work things out.
But again, they're usually just like, I don't know, just me overreacting.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
usually. I can admit that. But yeah, so we do argue, we do have spats and stuff, but I wouldn't say we fight so much.
No.
But you never know. We're about to be very tired and have sleepless
We're
nights.
gonna be zombies. We're gonna be in a little bit of a fog
Yeah,
here soon,
it
so
might come.
things may come out.
Okay, the next one, your high school sweethearts.
Not
So-
technically.
Not actually, no.
We've known each other since we were in grade 7.
Yeah,
We
which is like 12.
didn't hang out around that time, but we knew of each other. We went to the same school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was more in high school that we started to hang out. And then I started to be into her a little bit more than just friends.
We didn't start our like relationship until after high school.
Yeah.
We were just friends through high school. The
This-
funniest thing ever though is what I wrote in your yearbook at the end
It
of the year.
is pretty good.
So what I wrote in his yearbook is something along the lines of the girl who marries you is one lucky girl. And like,
Yeah.
I no lie, I literally
Had no
didn't
feelings for
think
me.
of him that way at all. I just knew he was gonna be a good like husband. I just knew he was gonna be a good guy.
Because we were good friends and you
Yeah.
had a good relationship with me as a friend, you're like, wow, this guy is gonna make some girl lucky.
Yeah.
You didn't know that the girl was gonna
It
be
was
you.
gonna be me.
Yeah. And I didn't know it was gonna be you either.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to look
It
back
is
on
so
that. It's
weird.
just like, wow, that is
I know.
what a coincidence. Like that's fate, right? So we
So not high school sweethearts,
and
but
part of the story is that right after high school I was like, yeah, I like this girl. And
Really?
so, hey, will you go out with me? No. 1 year later, she came back and she kind of asked me out. So the rest is
Yeah.
history, as they say.
I just needed time, guys, okay?
Yeah,
I needed
exactly.
to figure myself out.
Yeah.
I'm glad it worked out that way though, because
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if we had tried to date right out of high school, I wasn't like
We wouldn't
ready.
be sitting here talking to you
No,
guys.
I don't think so. You guys are both super emotional even over little things. Not a bad thing though.
Honestly, Ayla.
Yes.
Yes, Ayla's very emotional
am
over a
very-
lot of things, but
You
we
are not.
definitely are way different in that
Yeah.
in that aspect. I'm not emotional to that extent. For the most part, like I'm very logical, so that's sort of where my thought process goes first on anything,
Yeah.
or that's how my
I go down the route of like emotions, like high feelings first, and then you. And
Ayla's
then,
up here, I'm kind of down here,
Yeah.
and then I like work to get us both to sort of this
Yeah.
like middle
And I'm
ground.
like that. Sometimes that's part of some of our arguments. Is I'm like mad that you're not as
exactly,
worked up as
it's
me.
come up, yeah, especially with the infertility journey.
Yeah, I'm like, why don't you care about this? And it's not that he doesn't care. He just like it doesn't
Expressing
affect
emotions
him
is a
the
lot
same.
more difficult for me, and the
Yeah.
way I do it is, and the way that I feel it is a lot different than Ayla.
Yeah, which I think we balance each other out.
Yeah, your heart's on your sleeve, that's for sure.
Oh gosh.
If there ever was someone, it's you, right?
Yeah. Ayla is more outspoken. Caleb is more quiet and go with the flow.
I'd say it's the opposite.
Really?
I mean, I'm pretty
You're
much,
super go with the flow. Are you kidding me?
I'm pretty opinionated though. Like I can put my thoughts aside and kind of go with the flow, but if there's certain things that just go against my logic, my
Yeah.
logical side, that's where I can't just go with the flow. I almost have to say something or really
Oh,
bite my
yeah.
tongue.
I guess that's true.
And it depends who I'm with. If
Yeah.
I know them really well, of course something could come out. If I don't, then I'm a little bit more reserved.
But I think like in our relationship, you're more go with the flow.
Yeah.
Like in our marriage,
Oh yeah.
like you just kind of like let me take over.
Let's put it this way. You don't take over, I allow you to take over.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I don't take over. I just mean like if it's like if we're really trying to work something out. Like say if we're figuring out where to go eat. Like I probably have the final
Yeah,
say.
because this is exactly where
'Cause you're
like
just
I'll
like,
eat
okay.
anything for the most part, unless we've just had it recently, and I'm like, okay, just pick somewhere, let's go. No, I don't know what I want. What do you want? Like, I don't care. Let's go for anything. And then I'll suggest things. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. Like, hey, well, you just pick.
It's been
Well, I don't know.
especially bad since being pregnant too.
Yeah, and with some, like we have a lot of options where we live, but we also don't have the same as like a big city would have. So
It's a struggle. We're
Yeah.
getting off topic though.
anyway, yeah,
The
let's not
point
talk about our
is-
dining out experience.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. I think it depends on the situation. Okay, this one is juicy.
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 Is a juicy one.
Their assumption is that we have a very tame sex life. Are you
How do we answer?
uncomfortable?
Oh, cringe. Just kidding.
Okay, so we're married. Sex is normal. You know, it's part of life, especially on this channel where we've talked about trying to conceive for so many years. Like, obviously,
At this
that's part of
point,
it. We've
it's
like inadvertently talked about sex so many times,
Yeah.
technically.
not even realizing.
Yeah. So, okay. So I think that assumption makes sense. Like if you just like are like see us, I don't know. I feel like that makes sense because we're not super crazy out there or anything. But my answer would be it like depends on the season of our life,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like during the like thick of like trying to conceive and like when you're tracking your ovulation.
Yeah,
and
so
all
not
that,
so. I
Oh.
guess I'd say tame then for sure.
more like not even.
More like a
Not even-
process.
yeah, more
An
like-
ends to a means.
Exactly. We're just
which
being
is
real here.
which is like where sex life goes to die, essentially.
It's true.
But I think it definitely started off early in the relationship really, really well and everything like that. And we're not going to get into our sex life, just to answer the question. I think it sort of ebbs and flows, I guess.
Yeah, but as for like tame or like wild, I think...
Not wild.
We don't think...
There's things we could do to be
I
wild.
guess I need to be taking notes and...
Yeah, we'll talk off camera, I guess. We'll like make a plan of like, oh, do you like this? Oh, I like that. Oh, let's maybe work that in.
Well, we do talk about that
We've
stuff.
done certain things, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There is no like firm answer. It just depends. Like some days are vanilla and some days are less vanilla. I don't know.
Yeah, and everybody has their own interpretation of that. So.
Yeah, that's true. Are you blushing? I feel hot. I don't know if it's pregnancy.
Are you
or
hot and
question.
bothered?
Okay, the next one. You're secretly terrified about becoming parents and freaking out behind the scenes.
Low-key freaking out inside. If only you could be inside my head right now.
Are you low-key freaking out?
No.
Have you not told me something?
Honestly,
Not really.
I don't think so.
I think maybe we're a little bit more calm than we should be. Like
Maybe we're not freaking out enough.
Maybe.
Maybe we're more comfortable than we should
Than
be.
we should be.
And we are a bit too confident,
And
maybe.
we're gonna be hit with a
Like,
brick wall.
don't get us wrong. You know, we're not ignorant. We know that this is going to
It's
be a
gonna be
tough
hard,
season ahead.
yeah.
And of course, we don't actually know what we're in for.
Yeah, we're first-time parents. Like, we
Of
don't-
course, and I think every single person in this position can only be so experienced or
Prepared.
or however you want to look at it. I think that we
just are coming into it with like this really good mindset, I think.
yeah, and we've set ourselves up. We've done a lot of things to prepare. We're going to our birth class.
Yeah.
That's
but
really helping me.
that's mostly birth though. That's not so much parenting.
I know, but there's things in there that are helpful
Yeah.
for sure.
I guess I would say that we're not really freaking out, but as those first like couple weeks, maybe we will freak out a little more. Okay, you are very religious.
This was, I think, a really common assumption.
I think so.
Even though, for the
Because we
most
don't
part
address it.
on YouTube, I don't think we've really addressed religion at all. And
It's a difficult topic for some people, I think, and our channel was never really about it, so we just kind of kept that.
and we
something
don't
else.
really want it to be a big part of the channel or anything like that,
Right.
so we've just left that out and not really been like one way or the other, I guess.
Okay, but answer the question.
Answer the question. Answer the question. I grew up very religious. I think overall we've both come to a place where I'm not as religious as I was growing up, but there's certain aspects of religion that I still believe in. As I've grown, I've just been able to develop sort of my own thoughts and my own view on life and religion and kind of what it means to me.
Yeah, so we don't really like categorize ourselves, but I guess we surround ourselves with a lot of people who do practice Christian faith, like your family a lot. We have a lot of friends, some of my family even. And so it's part of our life. Like it's something that
It's a big part of our lives.
Yeah, and we'll go to church every now and then and all that. But we aren't necessarily practicing it in
Right.
our own relationship or in our own life. But that's interesting because we also aren't like opposed to it, if that makes sense. Like we haven't closed any doors. We haven't said absolutely never. We're open to learning. We always like to have discussions. Like we'll sit with friends and just talk about it for hours, just because we want to know why, like what their opinions are and what their thoughts are, and it's a good healthy conversation, I think. And then as for children, raising kids, we intend to not close any doors either. So that means, provide information when needed, follow their interest and curiosity, and allow them to do.
We'll never tell them they can't do something
No,
because it
never.
might not be
what we do.
what we did and what we practice ourselves.
Yeah.
So we'll let them make that decision on their own.
And support them and
Yeah.
and go with them, all
Exactly.
those things. So it's an interesting topic. It's been something that's been big in our relationship throughout the past 6 years.
And I think
that we've been like just trying to navigate, because we did come from kind of different worlds in that, and I feel like we're at a place now where we both understand each other, and we're I don't know.
And I think the assumption comes from those YouTubers in the infertility community often seem to be very religious,
And we
it's
were
something
married
to
young.
lean on as well when you're going through such a difficult time.
And it is a wonderful thing for so many people. And then along with this is you only got married young because Caleb's family is very religious. So can I answer?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. No, that's not why we got married young. It is part of why we got married as like a little quicker than we would have, if that makes sense. Like I think we still would have gotten married around at the same age. It's just like it literally just pushed it forward by like 6 months.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we, one of the things was we wanted to live together, we wanted to start our lives together, and it was very important to his family that we were married and that we followed that. And so, you know, it was also important to us to have them in our lives and to be
respectful.
Yeah,
And
so we
it
wanted
was just
to-
a decision that we made together, and we have no regrets for how things started out.
No, and all, like I said, all it did was really just jumpstart by like 6 months. Like
6
it
months.
really wasn't much of a difference. We were heading there because we were just like madly in love. And we're just those kinds of people. I don't if that makes, I keep saying if that makes sense. We're just kind of like that. Like we wanted to be in that committed relationship and we wanted to start that life together, and that was just like what we actually wanted. So it wasn't so much because of anybody or because of anything. It just maybe sped up the process a little.
Yeah. Well put.
You felt judged about getting married young. People wouldn't take you seriously.
I wouldn't say there was a lot of judgment. I mean, people often question you. Like, I think I even had someone say, "Oh, is Ayla pregnant?" Which is just like completely comedic at this point.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Like, I wish at this, I mean, sure, I'll take that. No,
Yeah, well,
that wasn't
we
why.
didn't
But
know.
people often would be surprised, and they still are when we tell them, or when I tell them how long
Right.
we've been together.
Because we still look young, and then
Oh,
they're
we
like,
are young.
"Oh, yeah, how long have you been together?" "Oh, almost 6 years." And they're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, we got married when we were 19, so
Yeah, but I don't know. At the beginning, there was definitely concern from like my side because it wasn't very much in the norm.
in the religious community, depending on what faith you practice, it's very common for people to get married young. So
So a lot of
my
your friends
side
were on that.
and my friends that I grew up with, a lot of them, like, it wasn't that unusual. Like, yeah, it was still 19, which is still very young, but not too out of the norm. So
Yeah, I kind of love though now, like proving them wrong, kind of thing.
yeah, it's fun to, like, we're working, and it was never the wrong decision.
No, and we knew that. And even though we were young and you could say we were naive, we truly, honestly knew that, and we weren't going into it blindly. We knew.
I think at the time it could almost get a bit tiring having to explain like why, or how long did you date, or you guys must have been together for a long time, or all these things.
Yeah.
So not having those questions as much anymore
Is good.
is really good.
You almost didn't make it through your fertility struggle.
So I guess
I don't
there's
know.
two ways this question
Like
could
our
be.
relationship?
Like, yeah, exactly, the relationship, or we almost didn't get pregnant and didn't get
Give
to
up? And we almost gave up?
almost gave up. Yeah.
Okay, so
So
let's
let's kind of hit both real
okay,
quick.
relationship.
Relationship, different way it can go. It either really works out, or it really is detrimental, and it might eventually not work out, or you might recover, but it's very tough on a relationship. So you
Yeah.
either really come together as a couple and really bond and become stronger, and I think
Yeah.
that was what happened with us.
But that's not to say that like we didn't have struggles.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't.
It wasn't easy. We never really got to a point where we questioned like even being together. I don't think.
No way. There would be times where I was at my lowest and I would be like, "You should just go marry someone else." He's like, "You'll have a baby with someone else. I'm no
And
good. My
I'd
body
always-
doesn't work. Blah blah blah."
Go back to the fact that we both have infertility. Like, it's not just you, Ayla.
But-
Even if I went and found someone else, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna, make the
Instantly.
situation any better. If anything, the two of us need to stick together, because why would we bring two other parties into this mix and have two couples that now have to deal with it? So together, it's just one problem.
Okay, but that's just a joke. Really, in
yeah.
all honesty, we're always going to be in it together. And yeah, I think it has grown our relationship, our marriage, a lot over the past years of dealing with it, because we learned so much about each other and how we cope with stressful situations. We learned how to like deal with like the burden on just life, like financial and like relationships outside of each other, like all of it.
Worst part was probably the fact that once we felt we were committed to going through infertility treatments and just trying to start our family, we felt like we couldn't stop until we were successful, which meant we couldn't,
things on the back
yeah,
burner.
we couldn't go travel wherever we wanted or do a bunch of trips. Now we did get to incorporate things in and do some fun stuff, and we've definitely had a great past 6 years, and I think I wouldn't change anything, just because where we're at now, everything we've gone through has been huge, and we would never be where we're at without that. So I wouldn't change anything because I'm very happy with where we are now, and it's so easy to say that when you look back and you actually are about to have that family.
Whereas in the thick of it,
So if you're in the thick of it right now, like just know that keep pushing forward. It's hard to say how many years it's going to be from now for you.
But I promise it will get better.
It will be so amazing when you finally hit that moment, and it's tough right now, but just keep pushing forward.
Well said, honey. You both had dreamed about a big family even before getting married.
So I'll go first, and I definitely did want to have a big family, and I think it's because I needed to overcompensate for being an only child.
Yeah.
Being an only child, Ellie's an only dog, so she's got something to say right now.
Yeah, she wasn't.
She's like, well, we're on the topic. Let me just tell you what I think.
It's okay, baby.
It's okay. Maybe one day when we have more space, you can have a little sibling, okay? But to answer the question, for me, being an only child, it was good and bad, but I always wanted to have siblings, and I don't think being an only child it was what I wanted, so I wanted to overcompensate, have 2 or 3, and I think the harder we struggled, the more children we wanted.
Yeah.
Like, how is this gonna work? But we just want it to work, and this is what we want.
That's true. Yeah, I always wanted to be a mom, and I think I always wanted like 3 kids. I think that was probably always part of my like ideal.
My family is spread out across the country, so I always felt like if I had a big family, then I'd have a close-knit relationship with everyone, and we would have a home base where it wouldn't just be a small gathering. There'd always be so many people, and I like that.
Yeah, that would be fun. Okay, you don't love eating plant-based, but do it because you know it's good for you. So, okay, so right now, like we were fully plant-based for
pretty much a year.
A year, I'd say, like never cheated or anything. And then cheated. I hate talking like that because it's just food, guys. But since being pregnant, I have just been kind of like listening to my body and what I want to eat and not trying to put restrictions on anything. So like even couple months ago?
Mama's got cravings.
Yeah, I was like really wanted a steak. So we went out to the restaurant and got a steak.
2 Fridays in a row.
Yeah. And
we got a gift card, what can I say?
Probably because I needed some iron, honestly, and the midwife was like, good for you for listening to your body. Anyways, my point is that we don't want to put ourselves in like a box of how we eat. We just kind of eat. We just eat. So a lot of the time it is plant-based. Most of the time it's vegetarian. And
most of the time we buy plant-based.
Yeah. So
it's when we're out at other people's houses
that we make nibbles,
you know, there's
other things.
If we're eating some sort of a bagel or bread and there's egg used to make it, like it's not the end of the world. We just don't choose to buy a lot of those things when we're at the store.
Yeah, but saying that, I realized that I just can't live super strict with that kind of stuff. I just eat what I want to eat that day.
I think
what I want to eat is usually vegetarian.
Exactly.
I very rarely want meat.
We think the benefits of doing a plant-based diet is great, and we're gonna be aligned with that as much as possible, but we're just not gonna label ourselves as that because we're not.
Because then you have to answer these kinds of questions, like, and then defend yours.
I mean, why do people who eat that way have to be questioned? Like, why do you eat meat? Why don't
I know.
you?
It's what everybody wants
like
to
this?
talk to us about nowadays.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that kind of answers that question. But I think that that's all of our assumptions.
Yeah.
I think we
This
answered
video is
some
getting
good ones.
long.
Is it? Okay. Then we'll stop.
Yeah. We
Okay.
could go on for a long time.
Yeah.
Which is why we need to start a podcast, you know?
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all your assumptions. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And let us know down below if any of them like surprised you or
If you're like, yep, that's what I expected.
yeah, exactly. If we're that predictable, I don't know.
I assumed as much.
Yeah.
Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't joined us yet, because we'd love to have you. Our family's growing and we want you to grow with us.
Guys, we're having a baby next month.
Next month. This is the first time on the vlog we've been able to say that we're having a baby next month, which is really exciting. I can't wait till we're saying this month and then I can say
This
today. We're having a baby today.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.